I was talking to Minister Mason this morning, and he said, hey, I like the way you did your yard or something like that. And I said, yeah, but I wanted to get this thing down a little bit deeper, but I don't have the tools. And he was like, well, it looks like you did a good job to me. You got it. And I said, well, maybe if you can come and edge it, you can do that. And I said, but hey, I was using a pair of scissors. And he said, a pair of scissors in the yard? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I was just kind of stabbing down and cutting. And he was like, well, see, that's the thing, you know, you just got to use what you got. And he was like, even if you don't have a edge, you could just use a shovel, you know. And then he said, you know, he said, think about if you were in a cave somewhere and you didn't have a shovel, you would use your nails to dig your way out. And I said, absolutely. Minister Mason, you just added to my message today, because we have to find ways to be resourceful. There is nothing that can limit you as a woman of God today, because everything you need is already deep within you. There's an instinct within you that just begins to stand up when you find yourself, when your back is against the wall. You find a way to get out of whatever it is you're in. You find a way to feed your kids. You find a way to make means come together. You find a way to make ends meet. You never go hungry. You never lack, because there's always something in the cupboard that you can find. I remember for years I never liked this meal that my mom made, but once I got to be a little bit older, I realized she made this meal because she was being resourceful. She was putting together some things that didn't even go together in my book, but it worked because her children were fed in it. And she might not have had all the money that she needed, but we were fed in. And I'm going to share the meal with you. I think that it's something like tomato paste, tomato sauce, all in some water boiling, onions, peppers, corn, sausage on top of rice. Now today, that sounds like one of those meals that might kind of be a little normal. But back in the 80s and things like that, I mean, fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, black-eyed peas and rice was a little more of what we ate for dinner. But whenever that meal was in the pot, I already knew. And guess what she said? I said, I don't like this meal. She said, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. And if you want to pick all the onions out, you can pick them all out. I don't care. But this is the meal for today. Do you have anything else? Or anywhere else you can go eat? Anything else? But we, as mothers and women of God, are so resourceful. We make ways when we are at our wits' end. There's nothing else to do. And when I thought of that, and God reminded me of a meal that I made when my daughter was only a small baby. And of course, you know, she was able to eat the little stuff in the can, but there was no food left for us. So I looked in the refrigerator. There was one pack of hamburger meat. There was some mashed potatoes in there. And there was some condensed cream milk in there. Now, those of you over here, y'all probably already know what I made. I made some Salisbury steak with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, it was very good that day. Very good. It was delicious. It was the best I ever made. My husband don't even like when I make it now.
Wow.
But because I was being resourceful, because I used what I have. Ladies, don't complain about what you don't have, because everything you have is already inside of you. You can pull out the best from what you have. You can make it work. So when you feel like you're in that place or in that position where you're not able to give to your kids the way you want to, you're not able to do the things for them that their friends' parents are able to do for them. I remember when my husband didn't work for 2 years, when he left his job. And that was a difficult time for us. Nobody ever even knew how difficult it really was. I don't know if it was more difficult because I wasn't able to spend the way I used to, because God made a way that over that 2 years, not one bill was late. In 2 years, not one bill was late. As a matter of fact, Pastor even reminded me that during that time, we fed them more than we did before he didn't have a job.
Amen.
You know why? Because we couldn't really give financially like we wanted to, but we could cook a meal. So hey, come on over for dinner today. I cooked y'all dinner today, because you still gotta find a way to use what you have, and know that when when you go in the cupboard, it may look empty, but it's never going to run dry. That every time you open it up, there is still going to be something there for you to get what you need out of it.